Welcome everybody. This is our Spalding County Young Democrats meeting. It is currently June 10th, 2023. We're going to have a quick talk about what we have going on this month, and we're going to get into it. So first, start with an icebreaker, which is just like, I'm not very good at these, so I'm just going to keep it simple. My name is Moss. My pronouns are he, him. And then, of course, like, I don't know, we talk about the local food spots. I like everybody's local food here. I am a patron of a lot of different spots around here, so I guess my favorite local spot currently is Just Wings, but Southside Seafood does hold a special place in my heart. Very good. Zachary, go ahead.
Yep, I'm Zachary Fuller. I'm the president of this chapter. My pronouns are they, them. My favorite place to eat in Griffin is El Charro in the Walmart parking lot.
My name is Autumn Nichols. I'm the treasurer, she, her pronouns. And my favorite food in Griffin comes from Kizzy Cakes.
My name is William Harris, he, him, and the number one place I really go to is Chipotle. Or I guess Moe's, actually.
You go to Moe's more than Chipotle?
Yeah, well, Chipotle is always like in the news for like E. coli and salmonella
That's
outbreaks
true.
and stuff.
That's absolutely true.
I'm not gonna be a statistic.
I feel like, and this is Griffin slander, I feel like Moe's is too close to Fat Joe's for me to trust anything that...
It's good stuff. It's good stuff.
As far as, is it me?
I guess if you want to go ahead.
Cool. As far as the treasury report goes, nothing has changed. That is the end of the treasury report.
Very simple. Quick to the point.
Thank you.
Go ahead, President.
Okay, so I just wanted to get the important stuff off the top. Total membership is still 9. Total attendance at this meeting is 4. The next meeting will be July 8th, which is a Saturday, of course. The SCDC has sent out requests for recommendations for me because they want me to apply to the Southern Partners Fund. And so William, our guest today, has written a recommendation, which I appreciate, and hopefully I'll get that. Across 12 states in the South, they sponsor 10 people a year with a $10,000 grant to achieve a project that's going to benefit local community organizing. So I think it's important for this organization because whatever I do will probably be very much in junction with the Young Dems, like whether it's using that money to do the free fridge or do like a mass voter registration, since like half the people that are old enough to vote in Spalding County aren't even registered. But we'll figure it out. But that's a potential, if I get that, that's potential $10,000 directly for the communities in Spalding County. I also want to mention and suggest people go to next Saturday at Fairmont Park in Spalding County. The SCDC is having a Juneteenth celebration, so we want to make sure we support that. And then I want to get y'all's approval on asking funding from, well, $100 from the Young Dems of Georgia and $100 from the Spalding County Democratic Committee is what I'm thinking about asking to help support Griffin Pride this year. Everybody okay with that?
Mm-hmm.
Cool. I'll do it immediately after this meeting.
Honestly, I think the Young Dems of Georgia would just give you 200 easy.
Okay, well I can just do that. Ask them for 200. I don't even know if we need that much per se. It's just we can get the burgers, the charcoal.
Right.
Still
I was going to ask what we want to go for.
Well, I was going to say because the Spalding County Democratic Committee is so much smaller than the Young Dems of Georgia.
Right.
You maybe where we can, we should try to not rely on them financially because they also need their donations.
True. That's absolutely true.
Whereas the Young Dems is like a lot bigger and has a lot more infrastructure to be able to put out donations like that.
Yeah. So about Griffin Pride potluck this year. Of course, it's going to be the last Sunday, which is the 25th of this month. from 4:30 to 7:30. And the roles for everybody, I'm gonna be like the host, walking around greeting everybody and introducing like speakers and stuff like that. And then Autumn, you're gonna be on the lit table, you know, voter registration, applications to the Young Dems, all that. My dad has volunteered to be the grill master so that people can, instead of last year where everybody sort of like, you know,
Community girl.
yeah, just anybody can come up and grill on it. Just make it a little bit more streamlined and easy for people, and just let him, since he volunteered for it, to just grill everybody's burgers and hot dogs to request. I was thinking.
It's best to have.
And I was gonna ask you if you would be the Young Dems of Spalding County like representative during the speaking portion. So
Sure.
at 6 p.m., gonna have some people come up and speak, including myself. But if you wanted to maybe open it up, saying that this is, of course, Pride, and we want to celebrate queer people and inclusivity with everybody. Also, it is explicitly, and Pride has always been explicitly political.
It is.
And so it is.
To be trans exclusively.
Yes.
I was gonna ask real quick, do we have like people that we know wanna speak? Do you have anything that you wanna send to me, like literature-wise, that you might want me to touch on in specific? Because I might just do like a welcome email, like the whole history, just like a little tidbit, and then kind of like open it. I was also gonna ask if we can get name tags for this year.
Yes, that was actually something I was going to ask you as running the lit table, to have name tags. So when people come up to you into the event, like if I greet them, I send them to your table, you can make them a name tag.
Absolutely.
And yeah, with like for an event like this, I want to start doing maybe like speech rehearsals
Okay.
to just generally make sure everybody is on the same page and we all feel more confident about doing it. So if you wanted to come up with something, I could give you pointers, and you know, I could sort of work on my speech as well. And then do you want to pitch the Fayette Spalding Cooperative at Pride?
You want to talk about it?
Yeah, we can probably do that, yeah.
Or you could talk about your
Maybe.
campaign in 2024 if you prefer, just whichever you prefer, or both.
We could throw some money in on it for tabling as well. Are you opening up to anybody tabling at the event?
I haven't planned on reaching out to anybody, but if somebody wants to, for sure, that'd be awesome. It's going to be at Pavilion number 2, which is by the tennis courts.
Yeah. Does Spalding County have a restriction on this type of activity for tabling?
No, or at least they didn't before it changed hands. Griffin City Park used to be operated by the city government, but as of this year, the county has taken over all parks and recreation. And so the county's rule used to not have anything against tabling, but they may have made a special exception for this for some reason, I'm not sure. But as far as I know, it's completely allowed.
Okay.
At least has been the first and the second Griffin Pride allowed, even though we didn't do it.
Okay. Yeah, I'll see what I can do in that.
Okay, awesome. Go ahead and write you down. I was also thinking about getting somebody to be a photographer, but I haven't actually asked anyone yet. I have asked a couple people if they would be speakers, but no one has gotten back to me with a confirmation yet. If anybody wants to invite speakers, as long as it's somewhat relevant to Pride, like somebody who works in community organizing or is queer and has a story to share, that'd be fine. And of course, after the people who we planned on speaking, I was going to do the open mic section again.
That's a good idea. Do you have any kind of marketing plans?
Yes, Autumn made flyers, both for Instagram and for printing on paper. We had a tech issue. We were going to print them today in the office printer, but tech issue, and so we don't have access to it right now.
Oh.
But they are designed, and we're going to distribute paper copies to certain businesses and places, and then also do a lot of advertising on social media.
What do we need to get the technician?
It's just that Autumn designed it and then forgot to send it to a location where I could access it on my laptop.
It's just stuck on my laptop.
Oh.
Yeah, we
Gotcha.
didn't bring the right laptop is all
I
it
gotcha.
is.
Okay, no worries.
And
No, it's just like I have paper if we need like paper to print it on. Like I have like
we could
a laptop
probably
as well if we need like 3 to make it work. I don't know. Build a transformer. Got this.
we have a new printer at home too, and 2 old printers, so like we maybe could even get one of them working and print it at home. We'll
Hook
figure
all
it
of our
out.
laptops out.
Mhm.
Mhm.
Maybe we should invite Deb, the chairman of the Young Dems Pride Caucus,
Mhm.
to show up and speak.
Absolutely. Deb actually reached out to me the other day about something, so I'll just hit them back up about that.
I just friended Shazan on Facebook.
Shazan, I actually specifically was going to ask because he's the vice chair and he lives in Peachtree City, so it's right there, you know.
Excellent.
Have them speak about, like, kind of like as the Young Dems rep, you know, for Georgia, and you're the Young Dems Spalding rep in this situation. Supplies for this event, I think we will need is plates, paper towels, trash bags, Bluetooth speaker, which we have 2 of already, burgers, hot dogs, buns, condiments, charcoal, matches, lighter fluid, zip ties, coolers, ice, waters, and canned sodas. Am I missing anything? Paper for name tags. I'll just write name tags.
Do we want to have like I know we had like flags. So do we want to do like a grab bag kind of thing with the flags in them?
Ooh, okay.
Like
What else
just
would
like
we
a
want?
little, like we could do just like a mixed bag of candy and just kind of put the flag in the middle. I don't know, something nice.
That would be cool.
Get a donation link and have stretch goals for the community.
Exactly. We
Absolutely.
can put the business cards or whatnot in there. We could do, I don't know, if we wanted to, we could put condoms in there as well. Like,
That's true.
it's worth it to brainstorm. But yeah, I figure we might have like a takeaway thing. That way we can put literature in there as well, and that way we can like what's the word? Distribute it.
Right. Decorations is also something we've had before and would be cool, but I didn't write it down because I wanted to discuss how much do we want to budget for the Pride event. Do we want to budget 200 or budget higher than that because we have some in the account already?
I think budgeting 200 is appropriate.
Okay.
I would say do aggressive fundraising, see if other people want a table, and then prioritize like your aspirations and dreams, like where it's like, oh, if we can get this amount of money, then we can do this additional thing.
Okay. So
So
we
like
can adjust the budget going forward.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but $200 is probably good enough to get things going.
Okay.
But based on how like elaborate the grab bags are and stuff like that.
I'm thinking dollar store candy. Like,
Hey,
I can do something on a
so-
budget, totally. Like, if we're thinking to add this in there, like, I'm thinking very simple. It depends on how many people we get. Usually the bags are sold in like 12 pack, so we might get 2 of those, $1.25 each. And then of course, grab bags of candy. They're pretty small, but the bags are already small as is. So we might be looking at buying like 3 little bags of candy, and then end up with the flags that we already have. I think it would be smart to use what we already have. So we're probably looking at like $12 to add to the bill.
Yeah. So I would motion to accept a budget of $200.
I think that.
Second. Okay. All in favor, say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Great. So $200 for that. And then I want to talk about the Neighbor to Nation initiative. It's something I sort of brainstormed as I was thinking about reaching out and contacting the representatives of all levels for Spalding County just to get a political rapport between them and our organization. And basically I prioritize 3 things. 1, acknowledging and issuing reparations that are appropriate for the indigenous genocide in the United States, especially Spalding County, Georgia. And then protecting trans rights as we see a modern day attempt at a genocide on transgender people in this country. And then the 3rd thing was affordable housing. Because out of all the economic problems, if I had to narrow it down to 1, I thought that affordable housing would be the most relevant to the residents of Spalding County.
Absolutely.
And that's a message that I want to spread, like hence the name Neighbor to Nation. I want to spread it literally from like the neighborhoods we live in to, say, the United States Congress, people that are supposed to work for us. And our representative, surprisingly, because he is a Republican, Drew Ferguson, in the United States House, actually got back to me, or his staff member did, to ask me for follow-up on the initiative. And I told him that I think that what we wrote was exactly what we meant, and I would just want to put big emphasis on indigenous rights, And he was like, okay, I'm going to send it to the congressman. So out of the select messages that get sent, our message has been sent to Drew Ferguson, which is like, cool, we did a politics, but also doubt he's going to do anything.
It's an accomplishment just to be able to talk to him. So.
Exactly.
He still won't even host a town hall.
I know.
Coward.
Absolutely.
When is he up for election?
Every 2 years. So 2024, he's up again. Val Almanord is the one that's been running against him since 2020. Shout out to Dr. Val. I don't know if he's running again.
Hope you are. We'll vote for you.
Voted for him twice already. Let's see. So the only other thing on the list is the Blue Banquet fundraiser that we were thinking about having in July, even though nothing's set in stone. The big holdback, well, there's 2 big holdbacks right now. One is my fault, and I'll take credit for it because there's a banking issue between me and my bank, which includes my ties to the financial account here. All it is just a card issue, and I need to get like a new card before I can get the EIN number to start an Act Blue in order to accept donations online. But beyond all that, the only thing is actually booking a venue, because I wanted to have it at the College and Careers Academy, but to book that venue through GSCS, it's going to cost us $350, and I didn't want to approve that without asking for it at a meeting. So, like, should we still have it at the College and Career Academy meeting room for $350, or should we try and find a cheaper venue?
How much funds do y'all have?
Yeah.
There's like $152 in the bank account.
Yeah, so I would say that unless if there's a plan for like aggressive fundraising beforehand, you would have to find a sudden necessity.
Yeah.
Right, my plan to finance something like that would be to ask people who already sponsor us, and then this would be our launch publicly to try and get more sponsors and a wider range of fundraising,
Because it was already pushed back to July, and now it is June,
Mm-hmm.
and we don't even have the venue in place, I really think that we should not do it this summer.
Okay.
I really think that we've got to have a solid plan,
All right.
with more than a month's notice to get something like the scale you were talking about off the ground and to be successful.
I agree. Is there a date that we should push it back, or just table the deciding a date of it for now?
I think we need to look at what we're trying to do and then figure out a plan from there. Like really put together like what kind of investments we want to make into it, and then decide from there when we're actually able to do that. Because it depends.
I have an idea just now.
Okay.
What if we think, what if, October, what if we just host like a community Halloween party?
That's a pretty good idea.
Halloween gets people excited around
That's
here.
true. And it brings in a lot of people.
Mhm.
I think that would be a great way to launch.
And then you could have it, how much was it to rent the, Solomon Street Park?
500.
It's too much.
It's way too much.
Yeah.
It used to be free a couple years ago.
Yeah, we'll figure it out.
I would try to do a lot of fundraising for the Pride event.
Okay.
Tie a lot to that.
Exactly. That was another thing is I wanted to bring up is we should probably put in some form of donation or fundraiser while we're at it.
Yeah, and like aggressively go after funds. Like ask for 200 out of the Spalding County and the Young Dems, and so then that's $400 just right off the bat or whatever. And then aggressively pursue tabling sponsorships, etc., or just flat donations. And then after Pride, based on that fundraising, you should have a better idea of like operational budgeting for the rest of the year.
Yeah, I think that's a good idea for sure. Especially if we're pushing back what we were supposed to get our funds from, the fundraiser, all the way to near the end of the year. We're gonna need funds for the rest of the year, so I think that's a really good idea. And we should pivot all our efforts to try and fundraise some around Pride, so.
I do. I think we should. It's a lot of people in one place.
How many people showed up to the last one?
Oh, good.
It was 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, at least 9 people. And then the one before that, it was like 20 something people, the
Yeah.
first one.
I think we should, like flyers and stuff, and then we just kind of spread as far as we can. Things are heating up, and it's good to have that kind of community and make that community known. I would definitely take flyers and put myself and go put them in like specific like outreach spots, as well as just we have a couple different like free libraries that we do tuck them in there as well. And don't we have like a bulletin board? There's like a community bulletin board somewhere. I think I'm thinking of the one in St. Charles. But yeah, they will, local business, local events, they're really willing to put that in there. Especially since we're like a little bit ahead of it, we have a little bit of time.
Go ahead.
Have we secured the food? Like,
It's
have we
first come,
hit-
first served.
Okay. Then, I know that you were like, it might be too late to change the location, but I do think we should look into Imperial Park in the city.
Okay, if we
Because
wanna
I
check.
just think that people are gonna show up more there, cause it's like, they're already there.
There's
in
less,
downtown.
my concern with that is there's less seating there. And,
The grilling.
the new, well, yes, one, the grilling, I don't know how we're gonna have food there. And then also, on the newsletter that we've already distributed, it says it's at Griffin City Park.
That's understandable, we already have our fingers in that time. Is there a way for us to reserve it all? Is there a way for us to kind of just be like, hey?
I could call the county line, cause I,
I mean,
Like I did.
even off the record, don't listen to me.
Mhm.
Could we like print out a little, this is reserved, like just copy paper? Because I've
Absolutely.
seen them on them before, and like if it's written somewhere, usually it's respected, so like, could we?
yeah, well, that's what, when it was being reserved through the city of Griffin, it would be $50 and they would put a piece of paper on that
Okay.
bulletin board.
Gotcha.
So if we just went and did that now that it's first come, first served, because the county took it over, then that could definitely work, and I think we should do that.
Especially like day of, we just early go up there real quick, put it on there, and then do the shopping or whatever has to be done.
Right.
Someone sits there on
Mhm.
the growls.
I'll sit there.
It's surprising they won't let you do a reservation though. That's,
I know. They
Thanks,
did that.
Ledbetter.
Yeah, it's, I would say Steve Ledbetter's fault, the county manager, for negotiating a deal where the city no longer runs any of its parks.
Yeah, but even then, like, I know in Fayette, like, our county runs our parks, but they still have like a reservation system, it's $30 per hour.
But we have a supervillain
Yeah.
as our county commissioner, so.
Right, and even though there's no more reservation for that one, I bet they still charge the 500 for Solomon Park. I haven't checked, because that was last year that they did that, but it wouldn't surprise me. Oh well. Need to stop talking shit. No, it's important. Let's see, let's motion to move the Blue Banquet fundraiser to
Another time.
another time. Yeah, we'll just figure it out later.
Table,
Did you-
Second.
Second, okay.
motion. I don't know the rules of the silly speech.
Oh, we're gonna
Yes.
learn Rusty's rules.
What is that?
Instead of Robert's rules.
Yeah, Rusty's rules was created by like the IWW, specifically to make these types of rules more accessible to the working class.
We definitely need to look into that then, because I want to support the IWW in general.
They're called Rusty's rules. A lot of people outside of like wobbly space don't know too much about it.
I'm gonna put that in public comment.
And it's because like a lot of times with large organizations, what you see is that people weaponize Robert's rules.
That's true.
It's, oh, we're gonna stuff, and then whenever they try to pass the agenda, we're going to deny the motion, so then the meeting can't happen, and all this other stuff, so.
Shenanigans.
Yep.
With that motion in a second, let's vote. All in favor? Aye. And then we were gonna distribute to local shelters, things for our spring donate-a-thon that so far no one has donated to. Should we do a big push and ask for donations and do a personal investment? Or should we scrap it, or ideas?
Spring anymore.
Now, we've got, there's been a couple people that I've told about it that are like, I'll definitely get you a donation, with no confirmation of when they're going to do it, so.
The one thing I've learned about politics is that you have to be firm, you have to ask, and you have to constantly ask, and almost kind of badger people. into
Yes,
it.
pester.
I'm not good at it.
I'm not great at it, but I try.
We're good.
Yeah.
Should we make an investment of some of our own money, even if it's fundraised between now and then?
Just for operations?
What,
No, for our spring donate-a-thon, we were gonna collect supplies like toiletries, paper towels, toilet paper, tampons, pads, things like that, and then give it to, local shelters.
I don't know what we do with it.
Could just scrap it. Wait till next year.
That's what I'm thinking. And I hate to like.
Yeah, but it happens. You gotta work with what you have. So I guess, motion to end the spring donate-a-thon. Okay, then I guess that's all in favor, then.
Yeah, it's just, it's good to take a breath, regroup, see what worked, what didn't.
Right, exactly, and that's kind of what this is for, or it's exactly what this is for. So that's all I've had, so unless there's anything else, we can adjourn. Anybody want to say anything?
I was gonna say, let's go ahead and start putting together plans for our Halloween event that we have brainstorming. We can do that as we go. But yeah, yeah, let's just go ahead and put together ideas that we want to do for that. Maybe if there are people that we should talk to about, you know, what we're gonna. Oh gosh, I lost my words. Tables. Tables. See what we want to do with that. Maybe we do like a trunk or treat sort of thing. You know, just a little like, hey, we don't all have like spaces to go trick or treat, but we want to give that to the community. And then on top of that, just take our time, figure out how we're gonna do everything with potluck as far as rehearsals. If anybody wants to speak, say anything.
Okay, that reminded me of a couple of things that I wanted to bring up. One, for the Pride event this year, the former members of the Griffin Academy of Music that I did the reunion with, last year said that they wanted to, at this Pride event, perform.
Okay.
And I've been trying to reach out to them. I've reached out to multiple members, and each time they brush it off. They say like, yeah, we still want to do it, but then I follow up with, okay, when should we have the meeting? When should we have the rehearsal? It's coming up in less than a month, and then they ghost me. So I'm thinking that the whole performances are basically going to be canceled,
Okay.
unless we want to try and find a different musical act.
I mean, as far as the money that we're asking for the event, was that going to be like they're just doing it because they want to?
Yeah, it's volunteered.
I gotcha. Maybe it makes me embarrassed, but some people like this. Maybe we do karaoke.
Okay.
It's cheap. It's a speaker. You know, it's words on a sheet or a prompter sort of thing. Like, maybe we just do something fun like that and have like a little bit of an interactive instead.
Okay. Should we do that as like at a second location, or try and rig that up at the park?
I mean, I think we should do that at the park.
Okay. We could definitely try that. Could be fun.
Count me out.
I mean, I was gonna be one of the singers for the greatest reunion ever, anyways. So this works for me.
I think it would be a fun way to have people, you know, interact with each other and be silly and, you know, just enjoy the ambience of what it is to be around your community.
Right. Cut loose and show some pride. Yeah, that's perfect. See, what was the other? I like the trunk or treat idea because it makes it feel more inclusive, like you said, for people who don't have spaces to go and like trick or treat. And one thing I wanted to bring up was sort of just like for members only, or just like the friends, like not advertise this to the public, but more like an internal thing. We should maybe have a movie night for July 4th, because personally I hate fireworks. It triggers people with PTSD. Dogs hate it. I don't like fireworks, so like instead this is more like a lock-in. Like come in on the night that everybody shoots fireworks to instead watch movies.
Okay.
And then like the first 3 movies could be picked by us in leadership, and then if everybody isn't sick of movies after 3 of them, we could open it up to just like figure it out while we're there, you know?
Absolutely. Maybe we bring, you know, board games sort of thing and have that little bit of extra, because I mean, we all have board games, right?
Mm-hmm.
So we can bring that with us. Maybe like snacks and stuff.
Right. Just a little fun activity for members.
I think it might be nice. Do we have like a TV or like a projector sort of dealie?
Well, we could either have it here, which there is a projector for here that we can borrow, and do it here, or we could just do it at our house. We all already live together anyways.
That's true. Do what is comfortable. That's fine.
Do we want to figure that out, the details of that now, or just leave it up to, we'll figure it out?
How soon do we want to do it?
Well, July 4th.
Exactly. I'm sorry. It's halfway through June, so
I forgot as well, so.
I have. I'm not gonna say. I have the ADHD, the brain maggots. But yeah, if we wanna do this on the 4th, we need to figure out, okay, are we budgeting, are we needing something like that? Is it like a, just bring what you got, sort of thing? Do we wanna rent a movie? That's gonna cost something. Do we wanna?
You don't have to rent movies these days.
Right.
Sail the heist.
You wouldn't download a car, would you?
I'm
You
obsessed
wouldn't
with
download a
it.
gun.
That song actually got hit by a DMCA because they did not have the authorization to use that song for the commercial.
That's
So I got sued for it.
That's amazing.
Prime example of what they don't. I love it. But yeah.
Projection. I don't think we need to budget anything for it.
Okay.
It's just, it'd be like a, kind of like a friends get together type deal.
Nice. Alright, yeah. Sounds good.
Cool. Anything else? Shout out to Samantha Dubberly. I'll just end with that. There's a flyer right there on the table. She's running for the board of directors for the Central Georgia EMC, which includes Spalding County, Butts County, and a couple other counties. And it's a way for people to engage in democracy that's beyond even just politics. Like, this is a workers' cooperative, the EMC that not workers' cooperative, what is it, owners' cooperative?
It's like a consumer cooperative.
Consumer cooperative.
It's still cooperative based, kind of.
Yeah, but it's semi-democratized to where you can vote if you show up to the building in Jackson on August 2nd. I think it's at 10 a.m. Just look up Samantha Dubberly for Central EMC.
It is not at 10 a.m. It's 7:30 to 9:30 a.m.
Oh, 7:30, good catch. August 2nd, 7:30 to 9:30 a.m. In Jackson, Georgia. Only the bill holder has to be there, so only one person from the house that uses EMC gets to vote. And it's the person whose name is on the bill. And it's at 923 South Mulberry Street, Jackson, Georgia. So yeah, just another way to be involved, and it's not even directly for a political office. This is more like have a say in what your electric bill is going to be like.
Exactly.
How much investment they make into solar.
Right, that's a big thing, is how much investments in renewable and sustainability, affordability, all different types of things.
That's right. There was like a whole money back in the mail sort of thing with Georgia's renewable energy, and then there's also a hike on Georgia Power's bill.
Mm-hmm.
So they decided that it's like $25 extra, and as well in California, there's also talks of higher energy bills. So it might be best for people to hop on this,
Right.
It's a vote, it's worth it. Take your time and actually research what you want to do with it, but I would say it might benefit the entire community to just take action.
Yeah, and there's, just like how people say that unions don't just make the workplace better for union members, but for everybody, similar thing is like if EMC gets more competitive and serves their customers better, and people switch to EMC and communities invest in them and their districts spread and things like that, then it's going to directly impact the practices of less democratized corporations like Georgia Power, Yep, so I guess that's it, right?
I think so.
And let's adjourn.
Second.